I see some people walking across, so maybe we ought to wait just a couple of minutes for some other folks to get in. Matt, you'll help to get seats when they come in. You do that? Thank you so much for coming. It's amazing to me to be able just to read my poetry anywhere, but to be able to read it here, where I first fell in love with words. And have my sister Sally come walking in, flying up here from Florida. Oh my goodness.
She's still in shock.
I am still in shock. And I purposely, I lived with Sally when I was a senior, and she lived right here behind the library. And then too, this was my haven. And I purposely stayed away from the back windows because I didn't want to get all emotional before people started coming in. And so I was sitting here calmly, had everything set up and all the food set up, and I was just kind of sitting here, and I looked up and she just came walking through the door. Like she used to when dinner was ready. We just need seats. If there aren't seats, we'll get some more seats. Okay, good deal. Yeah. I write other things besides poetry, but poetry has always been my greatest love. And Harry and I have a ministry called Precious Prodigal, and I have a book by that name that's in the hands of a publisher right now. I can't tell you when it's going to be published or when it's going to be on the bookshelves, but I would guess early next year. And that's my guess, is that it will be available by then. I had hoped to have an answer before today, but I just don't have it. And it's a nonfiction book. It's a book that will tell you how to take care of yourself if you love a prodigal. And you know, I've tried to find one family that did not have a prodigal and have been unsuccessful. And every time I speak, and I speak often, I always challenge my audience by saying, if you are that one family that I haven't met yet that does not have a prodigal, who has broken your heart, it might be a parent, it might be a son or a daughter, it might be a grandchild, it might be a sister or a brother, it might be a spouse, but there's every one of us, at least everyone I've met so far, loves somebody who is acting out. And Precious Prodigal is a book that tells you not how to fix your prodigal, because that's not your job, but it's a book that will tell you how to take care of yourself. Because God's plan for your life, for my life, is that we have this abundant life filled with joy. And that joy can't depend on whether your family loves you or supports you, whether your family does the things that please you, or whether they break your heart. That joy isn't dependent on any of those things. And the goal of our ministry, the goal of Precious Prodigal, and indeed the goal of this book of poems, is to bring hope and to tell you that there is hope. Recently, for whatever reason, my writing has been getting a lot of attention. Nobody is more surprised at that than I am. I mean, I am still thumb-sucking. I sucked my thumb till I was 8 years old. This will be edited out of this video. It wasn't. And I mean, I am still this thumb-sucking introvert. I have to really get out of my comfort level in order to be able to speak, in order to be able to read, but certainly not in order to write. And what I have found is that there's hope on my journey, and I write about that hope. And I write telling other people how they can find that hope by doing some of the same things perhaps that I did and others have told me worked for them. Anyway, as I said, it's been getting a lot of attention. And one of the questions I was asked when I was interviewed for the Alabama Baptist a couple of weeks ago, they said, how is writing going to affect your future? And I said these words: as long as I have breath in my body, and as long as I'm able to touch a keyboard, I will continue to talk about and to write about my great God. Because that's where I have found hope. So, would you like me to read for you?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it. This book is divided into various parts. I talk first about the family, and in the beginning, I say that our first introduction to society is with our families. It's where we learn how to share, especially if you have an older sister that knocks you around if you don't share together. How to stand up for ourselves and how to forgive. And as lifelong learners, sometimes we even learn to accept our family for who they are rather than for who we want them to be. And the first poem I'm going to read to you is about saying goodbye. It's called A Mom's Goodbye in Autumn, and it's the first page of this book. My sisters will recognize immediately that I'm writing about Michelle, my daughter Michelle, in here. And she is the first person that bought my book. She bought it from Amazon. Now that's bad, you're going to buy your mom's book. But she did, and when I went there, I said, I'll give you the money for it. And she said, no, just sign it on my poem. So I told her I'd be reading this today. We watched together, she and I, as early morning kissed the wings of one young hawk in flight, turning them to gold. That same pale sun caressed my daughter's face, blushing pink with sweet anticipation. The chill, damp taste of morning and the acrid smell of smoke sang their own discordant tune. Our scarves snapping with the wind that nipped our fingers, joined with that wind the fading stars and trees and grass and creatures great and small to hum a symphony of joy for that hawk's flight. Blue eyes watching, hesitant and fearful, could she fly? With younger eyes of golden brown, jubilant and glistening, my sweet girl watched. Her head as yet unbowed by heartache she would someday know. She shouted, watch her go, Mom, watch her go. The music of the magic of a moment shared as youthful vigor soared and flew to places I would never know. And as her hand touched mine, a tender kiss bestowed by that same sun reflected gold and sparkled from the small engagement ring she wore. A promise for the future, a farewell to the past. It isn't only daughters that I have, though, although I've had to say goodbye to each of them. The problem with saying goodbye is they keep coming back. And the same is with my sons. But if you have a son or daughter, then you no doubt can identify with a man. My son stands straight and tall. I blinked, and someone made the babe who suckled at my breast a man. He grew so quickly to maturity. Was it just yesterday he learned to take a step? Where are the weeds he brought, his sweet bouquet of love, placed in a homemade jelly jar for me? I hear him now as he once read the simple books and looked at me to see if I was proud. And now he's all grown up. The time has come for him to leave me here as he goes on loan. I knew that this would be. For birds must leave the nest if they would fly, and they must fly to live. So fly, my precious bird. The whole world waits for you, and I can love enough to let you go. Awesome. I'm not sure that we ever really let them go, do we? For those who, how many are you are from the North Brookfield area or just from this part of Massachusetts? Most everybody here? Now this is your family I'm reading about, no doubt, not just my own. They weren't cultured or refined. Even their voices were gravelly. It's called my uncles. They smelled of cigarettes and the good, strong, earthy smell of Massachusetts dirt. Perfect for growing potatoes and beans and radishes. Brushing calloused hands on overalls, they would lean against the tractor and talk about the weather and how tall the corn already was. They were gruff, without much tenderness or patience for little girls who should be seen, not heard, after all. They weren't about hugs either. But I remember when they drove their tractors the 5 miles from West Brookfield to plow our garden, and how they came to bring us bread and cakes when they just happened to have some extra. I remember bags of food and $20 tucked up under a coffee cup, forgotten and left behind and never mentioned again. Yes, they were country and they were rough, but they were family, and that was enough.